Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Apologies to everybody for thy late live. I'm running behind this week, but we have James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. He is here. Hi, James.
Hello.
He is here to help us co-host this recap of the Housewives of New Jersey. I'm sick of these white women. They get on my nerves. They are. They are. I'm sorry. They are. They're doing the most. They are absolutely doing the most. It's too much for me. It's just a little too much for me. Speaking of which, y'all, it just dropped, made TMZ and a couple of other outlets that Louis Ruelas, which is the husband of Teresa Giudice, however you prefer to say her last name, he basically just got caught up for fraud and money laundering.
Are we surprised?
Allegedly, because I don't want to lose what little I got, but I'm just like, Teresa, are you just attracted to people who, defraud the federal government? Like, what is going on? You get off parole and this is what you get into? I knew something was off with Louis just by how red and sweaty he always is, but his hair still somehow stands straight up. I don't understand it. I don't. So anything Teresa's trying to say about other people, now I'm starting to look at it as like, okay, maybe she was trying to deflect from what, is allegedly being said about her own husband being entangled in fraud. But I just want to point that out there. So we leave off on the last episode with John Fuda walking out of the meeting with Teresa because he's like, I'm not doing it with this lady. He did not yell at her. And I'm seeing a lot of people, who watch the show. The audience seems to receive the fact that this man did not yell at Teresa. He did not holler. He did not threaten her. He got up and left and reminded her of her past. Hi, Jim Bunny. She said, Louis is a weirdo. Yep. A straight weirdo. I can't stand him. He looks like he smells.
I don't think he looked. No, he looked like he wear Creed cologne, which I aspire. But what I'm gonna say about him is that no, he looked like he was the one that he looked like somebody that would steal some shit and then help you look for it. Like that's what he gives.
My husband, every time he sees Louis on the screen, he says the same thing. He's like, "Oh, this guy looks like an alcoholic." I'm like, "Damn." Because they beat you red and just hella red. Not serious.
Yeah, Jim, but he is giving like what was that movie called where like the man would marry the woman with children? And he was like a killer. He would do this like a routine, like kill the wife and children. Stepfather. He does give that the horror movie Stepfather. That's exactly what he gives.
That's terrible.
It is,
but then again, when you look at her, she's like a gremlin with a vagina. So let's keep it moving. Dolores, and okay, listen. Dolores is beautiful, but I'm bored. Sometimes I'm bored. Now,
that's how
toward the end of the episode, but come on now. Her and the family are meeting. Frank's dog is dying. Sorry, Frank. Rest in peace to the dog, truly. It sucks when dogs die. That's why I don't have one, because they have such a short lifespan and I get really attached to my pets. Anyway, they mentioned the fact that Paul needs a damn divorce, but wants to start a business with Dolores. But she doesn't have a title in this business or a position. And now she claims that she doesn't want to go into business with him. I don't care about any of it. But I'm going to let James comment because I genuinely don't care.
Dolores, I like you. I really, really like you. And up until this moment, I thought you were a very smart woman. Now, I'm not going to insult you fully because you may be a very smart woman. You may have some book smarts, absolutely. But you sure ain't got no fucking common sense. I don't understand this. This man just flat out told you that he ain't in no hurry to get no divorce. He flat out told you he wants to open a business with you, but he don't want ties. Why is this shit not clicking to you? First of all, strike one, he don't want to get no divorce. Strike two, you on TV, meaning that he gets free exposure.
Yep.
And strike three, he ain't even cute.
Yeah.
So at least if he was good looking, I
He
could
looked
fall
like
for the
Louis with weight.
like really. Like I sometimes I fall for some okey doke. I can. Absolutely. Depending on what you look like, absolutely. I could fall for the okey doke. But y'all, Dolores is 50. She too old for this shit. Now, at a certain point in time, if Dolores was 25, 30, 35, 40, maybe 40, I would give this to her. Be like, yeah, sometimes it's fun. But Dolores is old. You too old for this
Okay.
shit. You too
Shut
old for
up.
you got grown kids. Like, I'm sorry. And also I'm Frank. I
Oh
know you
no.
sad. I know you sad because of this dog, but you want me to bake you some cornbread.
You know what, James? You want time out. Not some corn. He looked like he needs some cornbread too. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. James love him some Frank Catania, y'all. He
I
does.
do. I really
He
do.
looked like he do steroids for me. That's the only part for me that's just
That's
like
okay. That's okay. We'll drain and we'll make sure the IV nurse come in here, give him some IV treatments. We'll get it all out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about me and Frank. We good over here. Don't worry about me and Frank.
But I really think as a whole, everybody is over this relationship. And I need Dolores to either stop dating on TV. What happened to your gym? I want to see more of what's going on. I don't care for this Paul guy. If he wanted to be divorced, he'd be divorced. He's not even trying to be divorced. But moving on, y'all. Uh, Teresa and Louis at their house. I'm not going to comment on it. The family is fake. Louis' son, I have hope for him because he was looking like uncomfortable with how the family was speaking. But the I love yous between everybody, I love you so much. I love you. I love you. It's clearly fake. So I don't have nothing to say about that family. Listen, I just don't because I have nothing nice. James?
God bless their family.
Amen. Happy Juneteenth. Moving on, Rachel's daughter, we see her playing with her daughter, and Rachel does seem to be a good mom. I just don't like how her nose like turns up like the snout of a mouse. But we learned that her daughter has some developmental delays. It looks like walking is difficult for her. And we also learned that Rachel had some issues, I know, with serious arthritis and needing surgeries and things like that. I'm not going to comment too much on it. It's nice to see, and I like that New Jersey does this with all the franchises. We always get the opportunity to see them like with their families just doing them, versus always doing some over the top, stuff. Like when you see Kyle and, Sutton, for instance, on the Housewives of Beverly Hills. But she seems to be a great mom. I'm glad her daughter is thriving, and I'm going to move on from there because, for entertainment purposes, there's nothing there. Jennifer Aiden is a mess. Jennifer Aiden is an absolute mess. So at Melissa's housewarming party, Jennifer Aiden is trying to act like she was not talking about Danielle negatively. And this is when she's prepping to go to the party, uh, as it pertains to Lena. Now, we saw in earlier episodes that Lena, who is Teresa's hairstylist and apparently a friend of Teresa's, who is now a friend of Jennifer Aiden's, apparently Lena and them said that Lena was helping to plan a charity event that Danielle was a part of. And then Danielle was very rude and did not allow her to be in the VIP section. And Lena claimed that she left. That's what she said. So I want everybody to remember that because it will be relevant later on in the episode. And Jennifer Aiden wants to speak about it. I really hope they get rid of Jennifer Aiden because she's part of the reason we're not getting a reunion. She's part of the reason there's so much division. I'm sick of Jen. She does way too much. She does way too flipping much. But I found it interesting that she told her husband, she's like, Jen, you telling your husband that people should not treat each other like shit because God will humble you. Coming from Jennifer Aiden, that's a little bit comical because she's always treated somebody horribly. Horribly. She said Jen Fairy knows. I'm like, what's going on with Jen? Like, she's always been delusional, but this season is just like extra, extra, extra. But we're gonna move on. I think James stepped away. You hate that she has your name. Listen, Jen is a common name. It's a common name. You know what I'm saying? Hell, my actual government name is Amina. I be meeting people with the same name. Unfortunately, it happens. You are the better Jen. You give the game a good light. This Jen is crazy. And then we have Jen Fessler. There's a lot of Jens actually fucking up on this show. So we'll shout out Jen Bunny because you are the good Jen. Anywho, um, all the beautiful name. Melissa's housewarming, the event finally comes, and she basically is glad that she did not receive the gift that Teresa tried to give Rachel and John to bring to her brother, which is weird. It's very weird that Teresa did that. It's like, that's your brother. I'm sure there's somebody else that could have, given the bottle to him. There's somebody that y'all know that's your brother. I know that there's a mutual somebody who could have done it. I'm positive about it. I am positive about it. Um, Anywho, y'all. So the housewarming happens, and then Melissa is saying that she's glad that she didn't, Rachel didn't bring the gift of the bottle. And right when she's saying this, Dolores comes up to her with the same damn gift, the same bottle. And I thought that was crazy that Dolores did that because Dolores always tries to act like, even though she's Teresa's friend, she always tries to act like she holds her accountable and doesn't choose sides, but then she always does the opposite, which is really annoying in my personal opinion. So I'm also like, this is their housewarming, and you bring that to this event of all things. So Melissa did make the good point that, Teresa is the one who stated she wants nothing to do with them. So why is now she suddenly trying to bring a bottle? Which looks like, okay, you on camera, Teresa. You did say you wanted nothing to do with them. You probably realized you look crazy and saw the backlash, and now you're trying to do stuff, to make it look better. But messy, just messy. I didn't understand why Dolores wants to be in the middle of family, drama either. I understand she's known them a long time, but like as a friend, you should never get in between family drama, especially of siblings. Like I understand she probably thought she was trying to bring them back together, but girl, that was not your business or your place to do that. So I don't know. I just thought that was weird. How do you guys feel about Dolores doing that? Because I personally felt like it was like not the right time. Not the right time at all. She should have done it like at the end of the event or, giving it to them at another time. Why did it have to be there? But moving on. While everybody's at the party, Teresa, of course, was not invited. So Teresa is at home miserable, and she's talking about teaching Gia to, learn to cook sauce. Now, we all remember back in the early Jersey days when Caroline Manzo and Jacqueline Loretta, Kathy Wakili, they all used to be joking when Teresa's cookbook came out, like, she doesn't even cook. Her family cooks. I listen. I I about found that funny as hell. So I'm looking at Teresa like, oh, so Gia's going to be potentially moving out with her boyfriend. And because of that, Teresa wants to teach Gia how to make spaghetti pasta sauce, which I'm like, Teresa, you was unemployed for like many years in the first few seasons of this show. Why did you not have the time to teach that child how to cook?
I'm just saying.
Why?
I'm
I'm
just
trying to
saying,
tell you,
like, this baby is 23 years old. You mean to tell me,
and she don't know how to make sauce?
right?
And then Teresa claimed to be a real Italian. That's not that y'all not making sauce from the can, Teresa. I seen them cans. She playing. Teresa's playing with us. And yeah, it's petty of me to
Absolutely.
say that, but
Hey, Patty.
I mean, you Italian, you speak the language. Your parents was literally, as they say, fresh off the boat, and you making sauce with the can?
Maybe in her defense, maybe it was like stewed tomatoes or something.
No, hell no. She better stew them herself. As much crap as she tried to talk. What did she say in her cookbook seasons ago? Caroline is about as Italian as Olive Garden. Caroline was pissed. I miss old Jersey. I really do miss old
I do
Jersey.
too. I miss Caroline because that was my girl. I miss you know what's crazy is even though she got on my nerves her first couple seasons, I miss Danielle. Um
Yeah,
so-
yeah,
the one that pulled Marge's wig.
yeah. Danielle
I
Staub.
miss
She's
yeah.
a good villain, but she always does a little bit too much. But I
Yeah,
feel
she
like
do
the
go too far.
ladies,
Yeah.
they be a little sensitive because sometimes they go too far. They just do it in different ways. But
Mm.
I just found that to be weird. The other thing I want to say is I do not care about Gia moving in with her boyfriend. I do not care. I wish her the best. She's obviously smart. All of her girls seem to be okay, but I don't care to see them on this show with confessionals like they're housewives. They're not housewives. They're 23-year-olds. I don't want to watch that. Go revive the Jersey Shore or something and put them on that.
Not go real.
I don't want to see them. I don't care. And especially when they just blindly defend their mom, like I don't want to see that. Why I need more
I think
Aloras
all
like
kids
Dr.
do that
Heavenly's.
though. Like
You said what?
I think all kids do that though, blindly defend their parents.
No. No, well, look at Dr. Heavenly's daughter. She tell her about herself. There's a couple of these kids that would tell their parents. Kyle's daughters be telling her to shut the hell up sometimes for certain
So I don't
seasons.
know that about them. So yeah, okay, maybe you got a
Listen,
point.
it's not about like just not siding with your mom, but like Teresa does some pretty vile things, and then they pretty much act like she's a victim. If you're gonna do that, don't comment. They're still kids compared to these 40-year-old women. That's just how I feel. They don't know how to stay in a child's place. But Teresa basically is saying she's mad that Danielle is friendly with everyone, even though she just said that she doesn't care who's friends with Melissa or Marge. She doesn't care. But now she says when she's at home with her family that she's mad that Danielle is friendly with the ladies. Louis' son looked extremely uncomfortable again with all the gossip. It seems like outside of gossip, this family doesn't have much to talk about. That's just my opinion. And I'm gonna leave it there. Did you want to comment on her little family?
Absolutely not. I think I agree with everything you said. They both them boys looked uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
they look uncomfortable, and then Teresa looks sad. Like it just does not look like it's happy days. As beautiful as that house is, it does not look like happy times.
Oh, and allegedly, according to TMZ and multiple sources, that beautiful house that they're in, Louis took out a loan and used that house as collateral,
Not surprised.
and he's not paid it back. So I'm like, allegedly. I said, "Oh Lord, the mess that this is." Anywho, so Dolores announces Teresa's gift in front of everybody, which I did not like. I did not like that she did that. It's one thing to bring it, but now you're going to announce it in front of everybody to present it to him when he's clearly in a good mood, celebrating his new home. Treat you a dummy. Damn.
When I tell you she's stupid, like that lady, that man, he must be good in bed or something. Because I'm telling you, there's
He's
no way.
not. I don't think Teresa seemed like the type of chick that just has to be in a relationship. Because Joe Judice wasn't all of that either. Just
No, he wasn't. But I'm just saying, something got to be. Because there's no way I ain't falling for no stupid shit now. I might fall for some like like maybe remedial, like very like off the cusp, like something crazy. But I ain't falling for no stupid, like dumb, like I need my brain re-inclined kind of stuff. I ain't doing all that now. You ain't finna put no loan on my home, like, and I don't know about it. Well, do you think she knew?
I think she knew.
I think
I
she knew too.
also
That's why
think
I'm like, don't.
I also feel like she knew about what was going on with Joe. I think she knew. I think she the type of broad that's like, I'm gonna trust my man. I'm gonna stick beside him. That's Teresa.
I guess if it work, if you like it, baby, I love it. Cause ain't no way you ain't finna put me. Oh, Jim Bunny. That is putting images in my head that I do not need. Thank you very much.
As red as Louis is, we don't know if the blood could leave his face to go to the park to work anyway. But Dolores announces his gift, y'all. It of course upset Joe because he's just trying to move on. You could really tell he's trying to move on and learn to live without his sister because she's messy. I think he realizes she's just not going to change.
Which
And
really, which y'all, that disappoints me.
he has tried though, because it sounds like this stuff has been happening since before they were on the show, before Melissa. Um, she's
I
been this
get it, but
way.
at the same time, I get it, but at the same time, it's like that y'all are all each other has. Y'all mean to tell me y'all can't bridge that gap not anymore?
I don't
Like,
think they can. I think a lot of people forgive family for stuff that's extremely vile just off the fact that, oh, you're family and this is what we're taught to believe it means loyalty. But loyalty should not come with pain and toxicity or any form of abuse. And Teresa's been extremely messy towards her brother, allowed her brother to be disrespected by multiple husbands, random people, friends. She's come for her sister
mhm.
in law, hasn't made the best effort with her nieces and nephews. So I feel like she's done so much um, that I wouldn't deal with her either. I just wouldn't. I'm not that person that's gonna say I'm gonna keep you in my life just because we blood. I won't hurt you. I won't talk about you. But I ain't gonna do that. I don't blame Joe, but I thought it was really stupid of Dolores to, announce it. And he basically explains all the things that Teresa's done and how he stood by her, how he's given her time after time. And the cameras, the producers, they actually showed receipts just from recent years of, what he's saying to be true and how he has been there for his sister. It does look like Louis is the problem and that Teresa is wrong. And he threw that card in the fire. I said, it's kind of sad, but I understand why he is in the place that he's in. But it is sad because Teresa acted like that toward him, thinking he would never just go be gone.
And that's why I have a hard time with this because I get a lot of this is on Teresa's lap. I do like a lot of her being the cause of why these two can't seem to mend fences and everything. But at the same time, I wouldn't have thrown her card in the fire. And I wouldn't have, when Melissa bought that gift out to say, hey, this is from your sister. I don't even want this energy. See, I kind of fault Melissa in a way too for this. And I'm gonna tell you why. I fault her because I felt like you didn't have to bring that gift out to him, you and Dolores. Y'all didn't have to do that right then and there. Melissa, you can say, okay, well, let me just put this with the rest of the gifts, and then when y'all leave, I'll bring it up to him and see where his head is. Because right now, I didn't like
As
him
a
throwing that
wife,
card.
that's the correct thing to do. As a wife, I would have presented it to my partner after the party ended. But at the same time, Dolores brought that shit to the party. So I kind of, it's like, why would you do that? So there was Melissa should have been more of a wife, and Dolores needs to mind her business.
Well, here's the thing. In her defense, I'm gonna stick up for Dolores. I ain't gonna give her too much, but I'm gonna stick up for this. Um, Rachel, that's her name, right? I keep spacing on her name every time. Rachel and John Fuda was supposed to bring it, but they didn't have like the intent. Like before they got into that argument, they were gonna bring it as well.
Hmm.
So, let's suppose they were able to come to some middle ground, and she bought the gift. Would she have been wrong at
Yes,
that point?
don't give the gift at the housewarming. I think that's why Teresa gave the gift so that she could be talked about at the housewarming.
No, I definitely agree with that. No, I'm just saying, but I can't put fault on Dolores as much for bringing the gift because at the same time, the man is still her brother at the end of the day. So if I'm
Dolores is not their blood. That girl needs to mind her business.
no, I'm
Let
just
them
saying
figure it out.
like let's say you was going to a housewarming party for one of my family members and I say, hey, bring this gift with you. I'm not going because I don't fool with them, but bring this gift for them, and make sure to tell them to read the card. That's kind of how I see. I kind of feel like, yeah, I would set you up like that. Like, I'm sorry.
If you did that though, I'm not gonna give it until the very end of the party. Like I
I
would
see what you're
personally
saying. Yeah.
stay. I'm not the type to get in people's business like that. And if I do have to do it, it would literally be saying, I'm not trying to be in y'all's business. I didn't want to interrupt your party. Wait to the end, give it to them then, and then leave. But they want to do it in front of everybody, which was strange. And then Melissa obviously also was being petty because let me go add it to the other 14 bottles we have in the house. I'm like, girl, okay. Like, we get
And
it.
that's another thing. You could have put them bottles. You could have put that in the place with the other bottles. You didn't even have to show him that gift. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like for me, like no, Teresa fucked up. I'm not saying she's not. But what I'm saying is for me, like Melissa, you did do this for a moment. Like you definitely did this for a
She took
moment.
what, of course, and that's why people don't like Melissa. Listen, in the situation between Teresa and her brother and all of that, Teresa's wrong all the way. She
Absolutely.
is, but at the same time, because two things could be right at the same time, y'all. I also feel like Melissa thrives on the spotlight and uses the family beef to her advantage, to keep her relevant on the show. Because outside of it, her kids are going to college. The boys are unproblematic. Her husband and her marriage is okay. She's got her little business, but like she's not the most interesting. She's never gave when it comes to like getting into it with people. She doesn't really read people. Even her confessionals kind of fall short. So I'd be bored of Melissa personally. I'd be bored separate from it all. But he gets upset, throws everything in the fire. It's really dramatic, but listen, he after the way he threw it in the fire, he better really be done. That's what I will say. He better really be done. So we see Jackie Goldschneider, who is like the most thirsty, weirdest. I don't know if this lady's on drugs or something. I'm not even trying to be funny because I used to love Jackie. I really did. But there's a lot to unpack with Jackie in this episode. A lot. So Dolores tries to check Rachel on her husband's comments about Teresa being the poster child of mortgage fraud because of Joe Judice. And of course, Teresa didn't tell Dolores the actual thing. She painted herself to look like a victim. And Rachel checked the hell out of Dolores, reminded her, like, listen, that's not true. This is what really happened. She came for me. She did, and she knew exactly what she was doing. No accountability, but the same stuff Teresa does. And Dolores, I want to know why it is that you claim that you are not one to get in the middle but extremely loyal, but then you get in the middle and your loyalty is causing you to like be messy. That should annoy me. What did Jen say? How does Evan put up with her? Allegedly.
Okay, that's what's going around.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Allegedly, he got a lady around the corner, but that's neither here nor there. And I don't
All
see
I
him.
said was allegedly.
First of all, I don't know what other woman would give him the time of day because he ain't nothing to look at. So I don't know what the hell is going on here. He must got
Honestly,
a.
neither is she, but he looked better than her. I'm just
To me,
saying.
she looked like Melissa Rivers. She
Oh
really
no.
do. She looked like Melissa Rivers. For those who don't know who that is Joan Rivers' daughter. They used to have a show on
And she's
each.
not really a looker. So I mean,
No, but that's what she looks like to me. That's why I thought that when I first saw Jackie on the show, because remember I go in and out. So the last season I saw her in, what season was that when Marge poured that water on Danielle and she pulled her ponytail? What season was that again?
that was like 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, that was the last time I had seen it prior to this season. So when I looked at her, I said, "Why is Melissa Rivers in New Jersey?" I mean, I know Joan used to be in New York, but Melissa in LA. I thought Melissa was in LA. And then when she said, I said, "Oh, that's not Melissa Rivers." Okay, never mind. Yeah, she does. She looks exactly like her. That's why I thought it was her. But apparently I was wrong. Here's my thing about Jackie. Jackie wants to be on this show and wants to hold, what do they hold on New Jersey? I don't even know. Um, hell, a flower, hell's the garden state. She wants to be on the center cast. She really does. And she is working overtime. She
I'm
realized she can't.
starting I'm starting
Mhm.
to understand though why it's good that she's not in the forefront.
Me too.
Before we get to Jackie, because we're not there yet. Um, Dolores moved on to tell Marge that Jackie said that the only reason that Rachel and John uh, are upset is because Marge is in, their ear and all those things. So this is where Marge comes up to Jackie, and Jackie ends up basically standing on what she said, which was extremely strange, especially given the history. Uh, it doesn't make any sense. So Jackie says that Melissa shared a private comment when we saw in the episode where Melissa was like, you were very upset, you were hurt by what Teresa, did and said. And essentially, oh, hold on, y'all. Somebody's at my door. I apologize. The hell? Okay. Anywho, apologies, y'all. Apologies, y'all. Apologies. They are doing work around my apartment. It is 8:30 at night. I don't know why people are knocking at my door to ask about drilling. No, you cannot drill at 8:30 at night in my apartment. And why wouldn't I get a notice? But that's a whole nother story. Anywho, so Jackie says that Melissa shared a private comment, and that's what she's really upset about. But the comment that Jackie is mad at Melissa about has to do with her being hurt by Teresa's words. Melissa points out a good thing, though, and makes a good point. How can you be mad at Melissa for exposing that when you wrote in your book that is published for the world to see that the reason that you relapsed with your eating disorder is because of Teresa? You also said that you left the show to address your eating disorder. So you told us that Teresa hurt you so much that you literally got to a point of going back into, an unhealthy place for food. And we saw Jackie struggle on this show for food with food. She really did struggle. So it's very strange that she wants to be upset at that. It makes no sense. And Jackie just lies about it. And the cameras start to show that her ass is lying. So she walks away from March out of nowhere. To me, Jackie seemed a little drunk or like off. I don't know if
Mhm, definitely.
did she not seem that way to y'all? Like when she fell, like that's something somebody lit would do is protect the cup. If you know, you know. I was just really annoyed with her behavior and the way she just suddenly walked away from Marge. It was like, okay, you've been proven wrong, so you just walked away. Like, I don't know. I just feel like she's drunk. How did you feel, James, about that?
I agree that she was drunk, but to me, I don't know. I feel like there was more things she could have been mad at when it came to Marge. Like I really felt like she had like at least one valid reason, but to me, as I said, she's getting in good with Teresa
Mm.
because she's trying to find her way back on here
Yeah, I
and more
think
permanent.
you're right with that. You're definitely correct with that.
Like, and it's really obvious that's what she's doing because there's no way if you cause me to relapse into an addiction that I've had, then I'm going to be cool with you at the end of the day. There's no way. Because to me, that means that you're okay with the demise of me. And if I'm thinking you're okay with the demise of me, that means that you really don't see it for me. So why would I then go and forgive you and try to make amends with you? That's stupid to me. Because if you did it once, you'll do it again. The first time was easy, and then the second time will be even easier. So yeah, no, I totally got where everybody was coming from, but like I said, because it was coming from Marge, it gets tricky. It does.
The thing is, though, the people that Marge is friends with, she is good to. So I do feel like in this situation, a lot of people have that same sentiment where, oh, it's Marge, so it makes it hard. But it shouldn't be because Jackie, Marge was a good friend to Jackie. Marge and Jen Fessler are good. Most of the people who seem to interact with Marge feel like she is a good friend. So it's while she does do things that are like messy and unnecessary, like in this situation, Marge wasn't wrong, and I know people struggle with that, but she just was not wrong. And the way Jackie
Mm.
walked away and handling the situation just as a whole was wrong. She just it looked like she couldn't stand to be wrong. which annoyed me.
Right. No, and I agree with that too. I agree with that completely. What I'm saying is, in the terms of where I felt like Jackie would have had a valid point, is she should have brought up what Mark said about her mom.
Marge did not say anything about her mom. That's what the cameras had showed the receipt to show that she didn't say. Jackie brought up her own mother. Marge said nothing. And then Jackie says, "Oh, now you're talking about my mom." And she looked lit in that scene as well. And
Yeah,
Marge
I'm gonna have to
said,
rewatch that because I thought I
they showed the receipt. They played the clip of Jackie bringing up her mom. And Marge said in that clip, in that moment, because Jackie tried to flip
what did
it
she
with Marge
say?
saying another point. And Jackie says to Marge in that moment, basically, you're gonna bring up the fact, and we talked about my mom, and I don't understand. She said something about her mom. Jackie brought it up. And she says, "You said this about my mom." And Marge goes, "I didn't say anything about your mom." They clearly showed that clip. So I found that weird that Jackie is still trying to bring that up. When the receipts, this whole episode, every time Jackie tried to make a point, the camera showed the receipts, the clips showing that what she was saying was a clear lie. That's why everyone's so irritated with Jackie, because she's lying about shit that she's actually on camera saying.
Okay. All right,
And
I'm gonna take your word for that one. Yeah.
the only way she's not going to remember is probably because in every damn scene she's got a corona and is so far up Teresa's ass looking for a way to defend her. It's wild to me. But she didn't say anything about her mom. Jackie made that comment in a conversation with Marge when they got into it at the baseball thing. And that's where, who's done this before? Teresa's done this before. A few housewives have done this before. Where they're like, "Oh, you're talking about my mom," when someone wasn't. Karen on Potomac had did that at one point too. And it's like, you bring up your own mom in a conversation because Jackie said, "My mom hasn't even read my book yet." And then Marge was like, "Okay, I'm not talking about your mom though." And Jackie, "Don't talk about my mom." I'm telling you, the lady is like,
Because I thought I heard something different. Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it. I am, but I thought I heard something different.
"No, I don't know what you were watching, darling." The I guarantee it. They showed the receipts the whole
No, I
episode.
believe because I don't care. I don't really care enough to rewatch this shit. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying. I thought I heard something different. That's why I was like, okay.
No. The thing with Jackie is she's been doing this all season. They keep catching her episode after episode doing it. She'll like say weird stuff that's entirely random in a conversation to try and defend herself. And then when the person comments on it, she'll, "Don't talk about this." It's like, you brought it up. What you mean? So I really think the lady just drunk and forgetting shit. I think Jackie is Caroline Brooks of New Jersey right now. If you know, you know. Um, but Jennifer Aiden, Lord, Jennifer Aiden and Danielle end up talking. Then we see messy Dolores move on, and it's just everything's a disaster. This episode, it was really like the episode gave nothing until the very end, and the very end was just a hot mess express. So it just annoyed the crap out of me. But Danielle and Jennifer Aiden talk again about the situation with this Lena chick, which annoyed me. And we finally get down to the nitty gritty of what happened between the two. So Danielle explains that what happened at the event is she had a charity event. At this charity event, she had a special VIP section that was meant for the housewives that showed up, which was herself, Jennifer Aiden, Teresa, and Dolores, I believe it was. So the had a little section that was supposed to keep people, away so they could have a break from the fans, but still be seen and things of that nature, a VIP area. So it turns out this Lena chick was able to get into the party, and that Danielle says that at one point people started letting their friends in who brought their friends, and their small VIP section ended up filling up. It was too many people, so Danielle had security move them out for safety reasons, which is a smart thing because you don't want to get a, what is it, the fire marshal violations and all that
Yeah.
type of shit. You can get that if you have too many people in a small space, which it sounds like that was. So Jennifer Aiden, then after she explains that and realizes she's lost her argument, Jennifer Aiden then says to her, "Well, you should have, I didn't see Aiden Plastics up anywhere," which is her husband's plastic surgery company. I said, "Jen, you think because you showed up to a charity event that she has to advertise your husband's plastic surgery business? Can somebody make it make sense? I'm 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 a little annoyed with Jennifer Aiden because why the hell do we need to do that? It's a charity event. And Danielle tries to say this was a charity event. That's your concern. That's what you're upset about because you can't advertise. And Jennifer Aiden tries to make a comment to her, about money and how she says when she throws an event, everybody who comes to her events goes home with money. Well, hell, how can I get an invite? That's
I'm just saying, right? Like, it's just crazy. Like, if it's
that's
that easy,
that's the stupidest thing I ever heard, James. On some real stuff, I'll be damned if I'm paying money to throw the party, and then I'm sending people home with money. No, hell no. Doesn't make any sense. Anywho, for some reason, Danielle apologizes to Jennifer Aiden, which threw me off. And it annoyed me because we know that we're not getting a reunion because of these two women getting into an altercation. Um, but I do think that Jen, at some point, she was like not really caring that it was a charity event, coming off as shallow in a way that's not going to be received well. So I feel like maybe Danielle just apologized because she's like, oh, she put her own foot in her mouth or something. I don't know. How did you feel about this stupid ass conversation?
it was stupid considering we know these two are about to get into a fight the next episode.
Mm,
So the argument didn't seem like it was much of anything. Like I was like, okay, so what are we arguing about? And all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna point the finger at Janaden because I know she's wrong in this. So Janaden, you getting the finger point at you. I hope you can fight. That's all I'm gonna say because Danielle, like she gonna give you a run for your money.
mm. Yeah. I'm not mad at it. I'm over Jennifer Aiden. She's just I'm annoyed with her. Last thing we see, you guys, is Jackie going to talk to Dolores about their beef. I said, Jackie, you got beef with everything. You got beef with everything and everybody. And I was cracking up when Melissa was explaining how Jackie was only invited because she don't want to hear Jackie cry again about how she's not invited places. And I'm starting to think maybe that's part of the reason producers are not bringing her back or giving her a spot on the show because I'm like it doesn't seem like anybody on the cast really truly likes her and I'm like maybe that's why she's up Teresa's ass. But that's just my opinion. So she goes to talk to Dolores about their beef. Marge ends up in the middle of talking to Dolores. Jackie's like, I would never say anything bad about you. Marge pulls up a screenshot and sends it to Dolores and then has her husband and then has her husband flag down Dolores behind Jackie's back, telling her to check her phone. So Dolores puts on her glasses like the old lady that she is and pulls out her phone. And when she reads the message, she sees that Jackie has called her a slob. It was basically speaking negatively, even though she was just saying she would never do that. And it's interesting that Jackie, the first thing she does is try to throw Marge under the bus, saying, why was my private text message shared? Why are you lying? Answer that first. Why are you lying? She tried to deflect because she was an attorney. She tried to deflect and move on to another point. Before we get to the next point, why did you lie? Why are you lying? Now I understand why you friends with Teresa. You just lying the lie. The sun is out. You lying. You forgot to salt your chicken. You're lying. Like she just lying the lie. I don't understand it. I just don't. So we know that Marge is going to be done with Jackie, and I honestly can't blame Marge. If somebody makes a 360 like that to get messy or get some extra fame, does well, sell a they book, which apparently is what happened with Jackie, and starts acting different, I would be done too. I want people who are going to stay the same when they're rich with me, poor with me, whatever the hell. Jackie is messy. How did you feel about Jackie and Dolores's little interaction?
I love how how Dolores held her feet to the fire with that. I did because it was kind of like because you know how she tried to throw Marge and them under the bus too, and said that Marge said you were this. She just didn't write it down. I said she said, well, she was smart for not doing that. I can't say the same about you,
Mm-hmm. Read
which
her
was
mind.
Yeah, like, why you sitting over there trying to be funny and throw her under the bus. And I felt like she was trying to nudge her because Dolores is close with Teresa. So I kind of felt like she was trying to nudge her to say, yo, I'm on Teresa's side, like girl. And yet the same, Dolores is cool with everybody.
Mhm.
Dolores is cool with everybody. So that's the wrong move. Like now this was Jennifer Aiden, then yeah, that would have definitely worked in your favor. But this is Dolores. Dolores has loyalty to all of them. No matter how much they stab her in the back, no matter how much they throw shit in her face, no matter how much Jen Aiden really tried to, run up on her, she got love for everybody.
Mm.
That's why we love Dolores. But Dolores is stupid on a lot of occasions. But I'm glad this is the one time because I was nervous. I felt like I just knew Dolores was gonna put them glasses on and be like, girl, it's okay, just don't worry about it. I just knew she was gonna do that. So the fact that she didn't do that, I was like, oh, okay,
Oh no,
thank you, Dolores.
Dolores has never really cared for Jackie though. Dolores just hasn't. When Dolores don't like somebody, or when Dolores feels disrespected by somebody, they will feel her little wrath. Like Dolores do not play. She will get somebody together when necessary. That's why I'm like, show less of Frank and just make Dolores participate more, so we can see her actually give us something. But that's pretty much all that happened this episode, you guys. We're gonna see the infamous fight. I'm assuming it's next week since they're showing it in the preview. It's looking like this might be a really short season. There's not going to be a reunion. We know that filming was suspended for some time because of this fight. There's just a lot that happened. But yeah, we definitely need a cast shakeup or a New Jersey reboot because this is a mess. Like when these housewives start getting to points of violence and desperation, talking to the blogs, things like that. We've seen this on Atlanta, Potomac, this show at one point, Beverly Hills. I mean, they're all guilty, but in recent times, Atlanta, Potomac, and this show, it's just really bad. I'm just like, y'all be fucking up so bad that they got to put suspension on the show indefinitely and all this craziness. And it's ridiculous.
It
We
is
just want to
ridiculous.
laugh and see crazy people and they doing the most. So that's all I have, you guys. Did you want to add anything, James Jackson?
Nope. Like I said, this was an okay episode. It is what it is. I Girl, when I tell you these heifers ain't even giving the way they supposed to give. Ugh.
They're not. They're not.
Bravo, y'all just lost the mark. Y'all just did. You just throw it away. Throw it all away.
Not throw it away.
Throw it away. Because to me, I feel like who was it? Color Me Pink said on her channel, just give Teresa her spin off and just let the other ones fade off.
Mm. I don't even think a Teresa spinoff would be interesting because she lies about everything.
Kim
It's the
Zolciak's
same.
Kim Zolciak's spinoff wasn't interesting either. She got what 5, 6 seasons out of it.
Yeah, but at the same time, she wasn't as bad as Teresa in terms of like vile behavior with the lies. But I will never let Kim Zolciak live down the fact that she pretended to have cancer. So
I was gonna say she's pretty vile too.
yeah,
So yeah, she's just as bad, if not
yeah.
worse.
Apparently, she's on that Trader show. Oh, anywho, y'all, that's all I got for New Jersey. I appreciate everybody for liking. Be sure to like the video, comment your opinion, even when we're not live anymore. We are always responsive. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to Jen Bunny. I appreciate you for being here. We'll be back again next week on Monday, the regular day, to do another recap. That episode should be interesting. My next recap will be on Friday at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. Myself, James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews, and Shayna underscore MCD will be going live to discuss the finale of The Never Ever Mets. So tune in. That should be
Yes.
fun time. A very, very fun time. Other than that, we will also have on Saturday our recap of Deb's House of Show on WeTV. Thank you to everybody who watched. I'm almost at 300 views, and we just went live not too many days ago. So thank you.
Yes.
But yeah, James is potentially going to have a read along, so I will share that to the page. As always, for you guys, be sure to subscribe to his channel. The link is in the description of this video.
I don't
Other
know if it's gonna happen this weekend because I will be out of town again. So I don't know if I will be able to do it this weekend, but for sure I will pick it back up at the very latest on Tuesday. So if it's not,
Whenever he picks it up, I will share it so everybody can see. But if you guys subscribe to his channel, then you won't miss when he goes live. Look at that.
yes. Thank you for the promo. I appreciate you.
Anywho, y'all, enjoy the rest of your evenings. Thank you for watching, and we are gone.